Greetings, citizens from the far reaches of the internet. I am Silver, or Silver Webby, and welcome back to Mewn Base. Here we are, back in the base. Now, when we last left off, I had just constructed the solar panel, and decided to end with my closing remarks there, a little bit of information about some bugs and some things that I would like to see changed about the game. Our plan today is we have a little bit of research progress, so we should probably get going on the advanced power, which costs 15 samples, which we have 10 samples, so we need one more research to get that. Additionally, we're going to have to get all of the resources required to construct some of the things. So the large battery there, I believe, requires the normal battery and some extra cells. Nuclear fuel is, I believe, 3 radioactive ore, but I think you need 3 nuclear fuel for the RTG. And then there's also the lightning collector, which will be very useful the next time a storm comes around. So, let's start this off with a quick expedition to find some more artifacts. Okay, another day has gone by, but we were undeniably very successful in our goal, having attained 2 artifacts and discovering the location of a 3rd. So, storage would be quite useful in case the winds pick up again. Engines are used in vehicles, I believe. In this? No, they're not. Interesting. I would have figured that they were. Wind power, which I don't really see a use for, and that's actually it. So I think our plan here is to get advanced power for the one additional resource, or artifact, for the one additional artifact we're already researching, and then use the remaining 2 to get storage and to get food production. So we're going to have to find another artifact if we're going to get food production. So yes, that sounds like a very good plan to me. That is what I am going to set out to do. So then, is this out of fuel? I guess it must be. And I am going to go collect some more rocks while I wait, because I would very much like more radioactive ore. That's more radioactive ore. I'm also not quite sure if the different sprites for the big rock chunks actually mean anything, but it's possible that you can only get radioactive ore from certain sprites, or it's more likely to get them from certain sprites. But in reality, I have no idea. You also may have noticed that I threw out my rocks during the time-lapse. That is because I don't really have a need for rocks late game. Like, at all. That's another aspect that I feel the game could definitely benefit from sort of building up a little bit more. Yes, I was right, it is 3 per. And then is it 3... No, it's only 2 nuclear fuel. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna collect this, start that one, and then go off on my quest to obtain the very last artifact that we found. Well, actually, it was the first one that we found, but it's the one that we have not yet picked up. Alright then. I also decided to harvest some plants on our way to base, because they were on the way. Okay, I believe that is everything for the RTG. Yes, that is. Okay. And there we have it, the RTG. I'm gonna place that right up there beside the battery. And what this does is, if you've played Astroneer, it is exactly like Astroneer. It is effectively free power. It just generates 18 power per second, or whatever metric it is exactly. I'm assuming second. Okay, I had to go away for a moment there, and when I got back, I was just about dead from starvation. That would have sucked. I don't remember what happens when you get killed. I believe the game just takes you back to your previous save, or your last save before you died. But if I'm being honest, I don't actually remember. It's been a while. So, we should make a garden patch, which requires wood and rocks. Huh. Didn't realize that you could just eat the melon things. And anyways, as I was saying with the RTG, it generates 8 units of power, and the base is currently using, I think, 14? Yeah. So it tells you the total generation here, and the actual generation per unit, or per item, here. So, this generates 10, panel generates 10, RTG generates 8, and RTG generates 8 all around the clock. It'll generate it at night, generate it at day, without using any fuel. It's just great. Now we're working on a garden patch, so that way I can use some of these seeds, and that way I'm not going to have to move so far to find any food if I ever decide that I need food. Plus, we're putting it outside as opposed to inside for the moment, because we won't have to water it then. It'll be watered by just the rain when it rains. Go. Now, our next goal, I think, should be storage. Okay, the advanced modules are tempting. I'm gonna go with the advanced modules instead. Just because there's something that I didn't get to mess with very much in my previous playthrough. So we're gonna go out again looking for artifacts. It's probably one of the least interesting parts of this game, but it's a very important part of the gameplay loop, so I don't really know what they could do to improve the artifact finding other than perhaps adding additional biomes to the game. Which I would definitely like to see. Some way to vary what you see around a lot more than it currently has. I don't really know what to do for that off the top of my head, but it would be cool to see. Day 14 of 34, 20 more to go. And we're off to a pretty good start so far, I would say. There we are. Now we can get advanced modules, which will unlock the auto airlock and a powered rain collector, as well as a few other things that I'll get to later. So the powered airlock requires 3 electronics and an airlock. We already have the airlock, obviously, and the electronics won't be that hard to make. And there we go. Hopefully, this will prevent me from closing the airlock on myself all the time. The powered airlock obviously requires more power. I'm not sure how much more, but more. Now we're using 14.5, so it doesn't actually require that much more power. But it opens and closes itself, which is actually more handy than you might think. So then, the next thing would be the powered rain collector, which requires an engine, and a normal rain collector, which we can't make just yet, or the repair drone, which will also require an engine. So, either way we go, we need an engine. And an engine is not crafted in the electronics. Where... Oh, that's because I haven't even researched the thing yet. Okay, so then, off we go to find some more artifacts. Another thing that we have access to, which I almost completely forgot about, is the large battery, requiring a battery, battery cells, and electronics. So let's get working on that as well. Battery cells, of course, requiring wire and chemicals. Wire... Something cool that the game doesn't really tell you or hint at in any way as far as I know is that blue shrooms will actually drop more and also drop seeds if you hit it with an axe. I discovered that in my previous playthrough, I just haven't really utilized it because for some reason I thought that hitting it without an axe actually left the stem, but clearly it doesn't, so it's just better to hit it with an axe. That's something to note if you're planning on playing this game ever. Well, I guess that's that. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. I'm sorry that this video is ending on such an unfortunate note, but I will do my best to get all of that progress back before the next episode of MewnBase rolls around, whenever that may be. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a dislike or a like, depending on which you believe it deserved. And I will see you next time. Bye!